With the Sochi Games just a year away, many athletes are fine-tuning their preparations. And tonight you'll meet three world-class Canadians who aren't quite ready just yet, but they share an invaluable experience. Each stood atop a Vancouver podium and bid into hard-won gold. It's a taste they want again. To get it, they're willing to fight against odds some might even call Olympian. Adrienne Arsenault has their stories.
Now, think back. Vancouver 2010. To win gold and win it at home. Hard for an athlete to beat that. Hard to imagine anyone would even want to try. Harder still to fathom if the years between Olympics have had some rough surprises. Olivier Jean.
It's always behind here. I don't know. Since I failed, that's the place it's been always bugging me.
In Vancouver, he was the one with the dreadlocks and the Olympic short track gold. Recently, he's been in pain, but he's pushing to go to Sochi. JCJ Anderson.
Now I want to see how far I can take it in another direction, because at 37, you're not in your prime anymore.
Once he got his Vancouver gold, he officially and seemingly happily retired. But he's back. Can't seem to stop trying to win again. And neither can Heather Moyes. Bobsled gold, wants that feeling again, even wants to return to competing internationally for Team Canada in rugby too. Frankly, at some points, even walking has been a challenge.
Well, you guys are wounded warriors, eh?
Yeah, maybe. It's one way to say it.
Three top dogs, now underdogs, but determined to compete, to medal, mostly to just be there once more. For Moyes, there are moments when Sochi must have seemed utterly unreachable. This from her video diary.
Yeah, I'm a little apprehensive about all of it. I'm actually less nervous about the particular surgery than I am about being put under.
That was the end of November, the morning of serious hip surgery to repair tears in bone spurs. She got those while recovering from a devastating ankle injury. A whole lot of wear and tear on the 34-year-old's body.
But yeah, anyway, that's my biggest stress right now. So, yeah, here I am.
Virtually every minute of the day recorded, even in the OR.
So that bump, see the change in the color there, that's what's giving all the problem.
Fixing her up meant dislocating her hip. And typical competitor, Moyes was actually kind of pleased that her surgeon found the whole thing tough.
You can see you've actually injured this a lot. Wow.
You made your surgeon sweat.
I know, I'm really proud of that.
And you nearly broke his drill bit?
Well, he said my muscles were strong, so it was hard to dislocate, and my bones were really solid and strong.
If the surgery was tricky, the doctor had no idea how demanding his patient would be when awake. They're meeting barely 2 weeks later.
Dr. Wong will be with you very shortly, okay?
Am I free to do any building up my training? Can I do single leg?
What do you mean?
Squatting down? Can I start doing stability stuff? Can I do it on one leg?
Your hips are shallow, right? You got
all right.
So come.
Yeah, okay.
You're not going to convince me to take the brace off soon.
Not even for moments?
Why are you risking it again? What's in it that is so compelling for you that you're willing to take this chance with your body?
Good question. Well, let me just pack it up. No, I think it's, part of it is, I think, knowing that I can contribute still, that I can still contribute. So part of me feels an obligation to my country, to my teammates.
To want to and to be able to, not necessarily the same thing.
One more.
While she recovers, she watches others surge ahead in both sports. Can she catch up in time for Sochi? Can he? Olivier Jean, the wild-haired, uber-energetic short-track speed skating star in Vancouver, now in a position he cannot bear.
It's hard to imagine you as a couch potato.
It doesn't feel good.
Dreaming of Sochi, but here on the sidelines, not skating, resorting to watching his teammates fly by without him.
You doing something tonight? Want to eat? Maybe we can invite people at my place or something.
He's only watching, not skating, because of a concussion, the curse of sport. Olivier got his when another competitor fell in a race recently and knocked him over. Dizzy, but he thought he'd be okay.
Next morning when I woke up, wasn't fine. My head was like at 200 pounds. And the sound, I had a hard time with sound, and my eyes also.
Weeks later, in between the headaches and depth perception issues, and he still wasn't back on the ice. Not a great string of luck for a man who seemed to have it all during the Vancouver Games. So on top of his game, he was then the target of one of the most bizarre episodes of sabotage in sport. The World Championships in 2011. He was suddenly struggling to stay on his skates. Turns out a competitor from the U.S. team had intentionally broken Olivier Jean's blade.
It means some athletes on some team are scared of the Canadian team.
In a weird way, it's a heck of a compliment to you.
Like it feels like it's their only option to beat us, so that's great.
Sabotage was easy to overcome, the injury less so. There's no perfect formula, and on the day we watch him, it's his first real workout in weeks.
Hi.
Complicated enough for mere mortals, barely a start for him. He's allowed to push his heart rate only until he feels the pressure build in his head again.
Did you feel anything?
Yeah.
Where?
Every time we stop, but it's here with my heart rate. I feel it like pulsating.
Is it still or is it gone?
No, it goes right away. So I start to feel it. I stop, decrease the intensity.
The rule is to take it slow, but time is ticking. And what he doesn't yet realize is that a comeback isn't a guarantee. And imagine trying to return after your teammates already called you the old man at the last Olympics. Snowboarder JCJ Anderson's fourth attempt at getting gold, and a picture-perfect ending to a long career. Ready to spend time with his kids. And can you blame him?
Okay, thumb down.
Chad, you want to show us how you get down from there? Yay! When I did retire, after 2010, in my mind I was done, and I was happy.
Happy to come home where play is huge and Dad was missed. After Vancouver, he began the work answering the champion's call to help out with charities.
And I had to cut it short. I did it for about 6 months, but then there was zero revenue, and it's pretty quick, you go bankrupt. Probably another 6 months and I would have been on the streets like doing something, and when you have kids, you don't want that.
He needed money and purpose, and he took a chance on starting his own custom snowboard company.
So this is your Santa's workshop, basically.
You're right, that's exactly what it is. It's a toy store for me.
But then he realized he needed more.
You started off with a wood core like this. I have different types of cores.
He needed the Olympics again, psychologically and financially, for sponsors, for building his business, for taking care of his family.
This table here is a vacuum table for the top sheets.
But you don't just decide to be the best in the world again.
It's JCJ Snowboards. I went back after, taking a year off. I was 40% of what I was at the Olympics. You lose that quick. I'm back up to par now, but it took a couple months. And you really need to be fit, you need to feel, you need to be on snow constantly.
But this means, though, that all those things you wanted to do, like spending more time with these guys.
It's worse now.
So is you going back to the Olympics a dream or another sacrifice?
It's definitely a sacrifice.
Sacrifice. There's a word all athletes understand, especially these three. Heather Moyes' sacrifice has literally left a mark. Getting back to Olympic form, far from easy or certain. 1 year out from Sochi, having family around while she recuperates is a plus, but there's something she can't help but notice.
Kaylee Humphries, the Olympic gold medalist, fought off all these new challengers.
Her gold medal teammate, Kaylee Humphries, is steaming ahead and winning titles.
In a way, it is gold for wow!
Without her, with a new brakeman. That's the way it works, but it's not always easy to watch.
I mean, I met her. She's a sweetheart, and I'm glad they're doing well together. So for me, I don't know what that means for me down the road. I don't know whether that means that they're okay and they don't want to break up a chemistry, or whether, you know, if I prove that I'm just as fast or faster, then, you know, maybe that opens the doors. I don't know.
Nope, just stay right there and you're going to look over here.
Canada may front two bobsled teams in Sochi, and Canada wants her on board. She's wanted for the rugby team too. Now it's just a matter of whether she can heal. Only her drive is absolute.
You go in just hoping that you can represent yourself as best as you can, and to make myself proud about how far I've come from the surgery, or whether I've made it back or not. And then if I am given the opportunity to represent Canada again, then I'll take it and I'll represent Canada as best I can. So it's the only, I think, healthy way to look at things without driving yourself crazy.
For the cameras and the promotional run-up to Sochi, Heather Moyes is all smiles, all positive thinking. If willpower alone could get her there, then save a spot on the podium now. And don't expect any pity parties from Olivier Jean either. His body and brain may not be cooperating fully yet, but he's hardly down.
I'll show you what makes me skate fast. Bacon makes me skate really fast. So it starts with a pork belly.
Holy.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna use this is half brown sugar, half salt.
How many people is that going to feed?
Me, myself, and I.
Clearly, this is not the first time you've done this.
No, it's not the first time. Usually fits in there.
This is not what I thought I'd be doing when I got up this morning.
It's a lot of fat. Fat makes you go faster, I think.
He'd better eat that bacon because he needs to get faster and stronger. Needs the headaches to stay away. Then he needs to start winning again to make it to Sochi.
Freezer. And my girlfriend had it made.
Look around. Between the drawings of Red Square and the Russian dolls and Olympic rings staring at him in his bedroom, motivation is everywhere.
Every time I go to bed, I know why I'm going to bed early, and I know what I'm going to be dreaming of, and when I'm waking up.
Could there be a better dream than beating the odds and coming back?
Definitely gold.
So it's a little dirty. It's been around the block a little bit.
And sure, there is a little romanticism at work, but for JCJ, who says his wildest dreams have already been fulfilled, competing at one more Olympics is both love and necessity.
As long as I keep developing better and better snowboards, that's where I get my satisfaction.
You could do that without the Olympics, though.
No. In my sport, a lot of the reason I am funded is for the Olympics. If I don't perform at the Olympics, there's no reason for funding me. Which is fine, that's okay. I will perform at the Olympics, that's it. Just give me a year.
Well, he's got his year to get ready, driven by a desire to be a good competitor and good dad. He's already won hundreds of snowboarding titles. There probably isn't anyone more capable of surprising the world again. So, should you see him, or Olivier, or Heather on the podium again next year, just remember what it took to put those smiles on those faces. Adrienne Arsenault, CBC News, near Mont-Tremblant.
Some developments to pass along since Adrienne visited those three. Olivier Jean is back on the ice, competing again at an event in Sochi. Just last weekend, he was fifth. JCJ Anderson took part in snowboard's World Championship last month. He finished 12th. As for Heather Moyes, she's still rehabbing, still training, and hoping she'll be on the team for Sochi.